Hello, everybody, and welcome to Here Be Heroes Play Blades in the Dark. I will be your lovely game master this evening, Alex. If we could just do a quick round of introductions so everybody knows who will be playing who this evening. And probably we're mostly going to be using the characters' aliases here because crime.
Because crime.
Whoever would like to go first. Hunter, why don't we start with you, because we've got your funny little guy pulled up here.
Dancy dance. Hello. I am Hunter. I am the guy behind the stream, and I am also playing as this guy. We will call him Pharaoh.
If we want to do our next in the little portrait order, Kevin.
Hello, I am Kevin. I am playing with the alias of Prophet, and I am a elite.
Yes. Pharaoh, could you also share what playbook Pharaoh is?
Pharaoh is a spider.
Lovely. Gabby.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm going to be playing by the alias Iris, and she is a slide.
Very cool, very cool. That's going to be Sydney.
I am so sorry. A lot of my stuff is still loading up. It's been very slow. But my name is Sydney. I will be playing Io. And my playbook, I'm blanking on the name, which is why I'm trying to make sure it's loading. Was it Whispers?
It is Whisper,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I was like, I know it's Whispers or something. And my character's playbook is the Whisper.
Very cool. And Sam.
I'm Samantha. My character's name is Kite, and she is a hound. And this is her good pal, Silver. It's her hunting pet. It's a hound. It's a Irish wolfhound. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Fancy.
For those of you who are not familiar, Blades in the Dark put together by Evil Hat Productions and John Harper. Would love to thank them all for their hard work in making this very fun game. I have run this system before, so I will be taking a lot of time to explain mechanics, rules, how this system works, and we are going to be broadcasting with the One More Multiverse platform. Many thank you to the wonderful people at One More Multiverse for putting all of this together. They're moving over to Patreon soon, and please support them in any way that you can. Even if it's just a free subscription to their account, get one free verse, run D&D for your friends, have a great time. If you have the money, please subscribe. Show them some love. They put a lot of work on this project, and I really love how smooth everything is. I'm just very excited for this game. So, to bring us in, welcome to the Shattered Isles, a world after cataclysm, a world of a shattered sun and flooded nation. We come to this world 1,000 years after disaster. No more light graces the earth, and no more souls breach the afterlife. Humans linger after death, and they are either destroyed through the hard work of spirit wardens, or they become monstrous, attacking people, or becoming evil creations of their own. Demons, beings fueled by pure desire and the only drive to see humans suffering, plague the entire world, but the greatest demons of all are the Leviathans. Great monsters of the void sea, swimming in the black depths of the ocean, the mere sight easily overshadowing any ship that man has yet to muster. But there's power in these creatures. Their blood is valuable, and it is used to power the city's lights, homes, appliances, but even more importantly, lightning barriers. The very defensive systems that keep all the cities of the Shattered Isles protected from the ghosts and demons and monsters of the outside, and allow for a semblance of what society was. We focus in the nation of Akoros, also known as the nation of the Empire, in the port city of Duskvol. And at this moment, we sit in a Leviathan hunter's manor. The great Lord Cedric Tawson taps his fingers on the desk and eyes over his son, Victor. He takes in one breath before slamming that fist down into the desk. You idiot! Imbecile, puffed up, blithering buffoon! A whole ship! You bet a whole Leviathan hunting class warship over cards! The veins pop out in his neck and face, his breathing heavy and fast, as he just glares daggers into you, Victor.
Well, it wasn't the most optimal result.
Optimal. This is. I could kill you for this. I should kill you for this.
Well,
And
I'm standing right here. I feel like if you wanted to kill me, you would have done so already. Or worse, you could have just handed me over to the Leviathan hunters, if you so desired.
Oh, whoops! I hit control. That's the wrong button. Sorgy. Now I've pinned him.
He is pinned.
He's pinned. He's been pinned. Um, Jenna takes a step over and places a hand on his shoulder. Calm down, Lord Tawson. I am sure there's a reasonable solution to all of this. I'm sure you can handle your son quite well. As she looks at you, there's just a little peak of a grin hidden behind a servant's complexion. He brushes away the hand. Leave us. And now I will control her on purpose. Whee!
She hobbles off.
Hobbles. Gonna bring her over to this parlor over here. And then let her go. She's chilling. Have you anything else to say for yourself?
I'm still waiting for an answer from you as to why you didn't just hand me over. You easily could have done it.
Because you're a bloody Tossin. If I put you into Ironhook, I become the laughing stock of Duskvol. It's bad enough I have to hand over the rights of one of my 3 ships. 3, I add, out of a pool of many. And now I've been cut in off by a third. You do understand just what you've done, right?
Well, judging by your mannerism, I wager I understand.
Good.
If you didn't make it
Then
evident
understand
enough.
this. Understand this. Get out. This home is not yours anymore. You've bled me enough with those foolish games at your foolish clubs. I am cutting you loose, Victor. You are a free man.
Victor crosses his arms and he taps his foot on the ground, and then he kind of shrugs he puts his arms up, shrugging, like, very well, if that's how you see fit. But before I go, if you're willing to kick me out of the house, maybe I could at least soften the blow that I've dealt to you.
He leans back in the chair a bit, tapping his fingers. How so?
I can't do anything about the ship, unfortunately. That is too big of a price for me to take back. But anything else that I've already lost in the process, I can make an attempt to make it back and hand over all the profits to you. Sure, it could never amount to the value that ship was, but it's better than nothing. And I don't mean this out of a means to try to beg to stay in this house, because that is your ruling, and it is clear, you're clear in your stance, and I have no say against it. However, I could at least owe you that much. And then afterwards, once I pay back my due, you can have the final word on however you want to deal with me then.
A chance, a bargain. I still remain on the stance of removing you from here and cutting off the connections that you would have under the Tossin name. I will consider this if you can bring me the amount of 40 coin within 1 year.
$40 coin, huh? Perhaps I can make that happen. I think a year is plenty of time to make that work. Excuse me.
Very well. Then let this final game begin, my son. You can see yourself out. Jenna has already taken it upon herself to pack your bags.
He gives a nod. And then begins walking to the door, makes it to the door, reaches his hand out and puts his hand on the handle and slowly opens the door. And he pauses and he says, "Until I return with what I owe, have a pleasant night and a pleasant year." He opens the door and he proceeds to walk out.
Perfect. And if you could use the portal.
To the docks.
To the Ducks Bar! So, out of your home, ousted of fortune and connections, you find yourself having to rely on who you've built up a little bit of reputation with. It has brought you to the docks to meet with LaRose, who has handled some of your more unsavory interactions with gambling. And that would be our friend down here. I need to change my control. Bing bong. I thought I. There we are.
There he is.
Our buddy LaRose. You've set up this meeting as a way to find a new enterprise. With no coin in your pocket and only the clothes on your back. It brought
Speaking
you
of clothes
here.
on my back.
Yeah. If you'd like to recostume up, put that hood on. Time to
Go.
get
Now he's in his
Skip.
full fit.
Wahoo! He's ready for crime. So yeah, if you would like to join LaRose.
He pulls the stool out and sits down at the table where he sees LaRose. Hood obscuring most of his face, but with the lantern light on the table, it's obvious that it's him.
Victor. You look better.
LaRose, old friend. Despite everything that's
So
happened,
what was it here that you brought me here for?
as I said, despite what has already happened, it's good to see that you are still a welcoming soul. I take it.
I've enjoyed our time together and our games, so I figured the least I could do was hear you out.
He shifts himself kind of, sort of leaning over the table, not too much, but making himself comfortable. And he says, have you been made aware of the relationship between me and my father as of this point?
I don't believe that he's gone very public about things. But I can assume you're no longer living in White Crown.
You would be correct, my friend. My father has removed me from his household. And, as he had stated, all connections related to the Towson name. So, unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a rough spot.
I feel for you. It's a hard place to find yourself in Duskvol streets with no place to hang your hat. What is it you need of me?
Well, even though I have sat in a high seat in the area of Duskfall, I am aware that there might be some opportunity within the lower regions of this dark and gloomy city.
Hello?
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Hello?
I can see it in
Oh,
your
God.
eyes. I can see it in your smile.
Oh, there.
All right.
Are you
no
here?
DM.
Oh.
The DM has died.
That's it for everybody.
That's it. That
All
was
right.
it. It's
Roll
ends
for
on a
initiative.
cliffhanger.
Time for me to take over.
And now I
Fine.
quickly switch the scene to greasers and goth. Just kidding.
It's cool.
All right, Alan, you're up.
Just swap
Oh,
characters real
God.
quick. Are you... Somebody come back to?
Hi, yeah.
You
Hi,
come
I'm
back to Alan, you're up. We changed
Let's
campaigns.
see. Oh, no. What was the last thing you heard?
I heard everything Loza said. I was in the middle of explaining to
Okay.
him. I don't know how
Cool.
much you
If
heard.
I had nothing. Not a
Okay.
damn thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'll go back. um, he said, well, excuse me. Despite me sitting in a higher seat of nobility within Duskfall, I am well aware that there is still some opportunity within the lower regions of this dark and gloomy city. And perhaps an opportunity was meant there for myself in my dire need.
I suppose you need to rub shoulders with some of the suspicious figures the Bluecoats have been keeping eyes on.
Any that you can point out in particular? Ones that maybe have even piqued your interest a bit?
A few come to mind. The first is a Tichrosi. And if you could go to the portal on the left of the screen and enter Vreen's.
Bet. I hear dog. Oh, dogs!
There's dogs, bro.
All right, we are here in Vreen.
Cool. My screen is still loading.
I'm like
Page unresponsive. No.
I'm like low-key
There we go.
paranoid because now I'm just constantly watching like my network output being like, did I disconnect or is that just Alex?
You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're good. It's me. Anyway, so that he says would be the first is a Tichrosi who fought in the Unity War. She's a killer for hire, dangerous, and out of the ones that I'm about to give you, the most likely to find herself in Ironhook. She travels with a strange beast of her lands. It looks like a dog, and well, you will know her when you see her. And here we come to Vreen's hound racing. The place is packed and busy. Hounds are lined up ready to begin the race, and you just kind of have to move through a crowd of commoners and onlookers that smell of dog and whiskey. Until eventually, you find the person who is very hard to miss. Sam, if you would like to describe your character.
Hey.
Here she is for the
Hi.
stream. Oops.
So yeah, so there wasn't an option on One More Multiverse, but she is from Titroshi, so she has short black butterfly antennas on her forehead. She has a Bengal tiger tail, and she has hummingbird wings on the lower back of her back. And yeah, she has this massive Irish wolfhound with her. It's a cream-colored dog, and you notice there's like a bunch of like rolling, like silvery mist coming from its mouth and tail, and just kind of like envelops her as she like stands next to him. And yeah, she's like wildly cheering for all the dogs. Yeah. Come on, number 19. Come on. I got money on you. And Silver, her hound, just barks in unison.
It is the paws and claws kick up the dirt of the rally, gunning as fast as they can. But this our big brown hound on the left just ends up butting our lean machine 19 and crossing the finish line just a glimpse before.
What number is it?
We'll say this is number 12.
Damn it. She just like lets out like the biggest like no like scream. And like kicks up the dirt, like invisibly kicks the dirt. And then she just goes to like the benches here and like grabs a drink. Pick it up. Soothes her sorrows.
Another great race, lads. Another good job, Vrain says as he looks up from the stage. Brutus, careful. Oof.
The race is rigged.
Vreen eyes you with it's a look that could kill.
She just mimics it back to him. She's not scared at all.
Don't worry, just a sore loser in the crowd today, folks.
Says the person who's making all the money.
Oh. Well,
I want to do
maybe
something.
you should place more careful bets. Anyhow, round up your hounds, lads. That's going to end tonight's racing. And yes, you said you wanted to do something, Hunter?
Oh, I was okay. Never mind. I was gonna try to move my way into the conversation while that was happening, but
Oh,
that's okay.
I imagine there's still a look between Chimera and Vreen as you're in the benches. Just this thick thing of watered down beer.
Pharaoh kind of walks in. He says, "One could say a sore loser, but one could also say someone who's just passionate in the sport."
Actually, thank you. Takes like a big gulp of beer.
At the end of the day, we're all here to have fun, aren't we, lads? And there's a few laughs and jabs in the crowd.
Though I must
I'm
say,
sure
I've never been to this area and got to see some hound racing for myself, but it does seem very interesting as a gambling sport.
You'll have to come back around when we start fresh. Bids get taken first. And well, we believe that it's important to play fair and act fair.
And of course.
And there's like that burrowing look into you, Chimera.
she scoffs like, yeah, right. Under her breath.
And of course, after all, one must always make sure that a game of chance is at least somewhat fair, wouldn't you say? And he looks towards Chimera when he says that.
Is it really fair if 9 times out of 10, the one who hosts this games wins all the money? I don't think so.
Well, there is something called the house edge, and unfortunately, the house edge always exists, no matter where you go. But sometimes it's all about beating the odds.
It's true. Why, you know something about odds?
Perhaps a little bit. I have a sort of gambling hobby, if you want to call it that.
Oh. Like? On who? Horses? Dogs? Sports games?
Unfortunately, nothing in terms of animal sports. I'm more interested in the card and dice games that are typically found when it comes to gambling. Though I didn't think it would
Oh.
hurt to sort of explore my horizons a bit.
So you're more on the boring side of gambling.
Boring or traditional.
Mm, potato, potato.
Come, why would you like to have a seat real quick? I've actually been looking for you, and I'd like to have a conversation, if you don't mind.
She kind of gets on the defensive and like looks at you like up and down like who the fuck are you? All right.
And he'll just walk over. He won't see if you follow, but he'll just start walking over to a bench. And he'll sit down.
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I take it you've been around this hound racing business for a little bit, I take it.
Mm-hmm. Just about to put silver here in the race myself. Maybe increase my odds a bit.
He like looks over towards your hound and he says, "That is quite an interesting hound. Not one I've seen anywhere around here."
Silver, she like jumps on her full hind legs up at you. And she's like probably towers over you. I don't know how tall you are, but
I don't know how tall I am either. But I'd imagine still probably shorter than the dog.
In comparison, Faro looks much shorter compared to Chimera.
He just looks and he says, "Well, that is some impressive stature. Very intimidating, too."
but thank you. I raised her myself. And Silver just like barks in agreement.
So, like I said, I was seeking you out, so I guess I'll cut the small talk and get to business. I'm a man in search of some opportunity within the streets of Duskfall, and I see plenty of potential in these streets, though I know how dangerous these places can be, especially if you're traveling alone.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Oh, trust me, I can see it now. You seem like someone who is used to seeing dangers. And from what I understand, you're very good at fending off those dangers.
She like leans in towards you, like looking for an employer.
More or less, is what I'm getting at. I'd like to assemble a crew to take advantage of what lurks in the streets of Duskfall and perhaps reap some rewards for ourselves. And of course, I'm completely willing to share in the profits. It's only fair. And from what I was told, when it comes to dangers, you are a very capable set of hands. And he looks over at the hound and he says, and paws.
She just gives you like a toothy smile. And you see like her like kind of canines, like they're sharper. Well, we need to write up an official contract. Because, I don't work for free. And also, I need to find out what you can do for me. You get me?
Of course. It's only fair if there's a mutual benefit, after all. I will say, I do have some very decent connections within this city. If you need an easier time getting around or some information from an obscure source, I may have the means of acquiring that for you.
Interesting.
And of course, I don't have anyone else assembled yet, but I've been given some decent leads. You just happen to be the first stop.
Well, I'm flattered.
So, if that interests you, would you care to join in my upstart crew, if you want to say?
Exactly how much percentage of the profits are we talking here?
Well, ideally, I'd like to split them as evenly as possible amongst everyone involved. Don't want to hoard everything for myself, especially if everyone else deserves it just as much as I do for the work they put in.
Fair, fair. So, like, I don't want to assume here, but like, no bonuses and like a job well done.
The bonuses from the job well done might just end up coming from our operations that we undergo. And besides, if there's coin involved, it's more for you to spend on something like this, as he puts his palm out and gestures to the hound racing area.
She like looks out and she kind of imagines herself like running her own races in a bit more like finely dressed clothes. And she gives like one look towards Silver, and he just kind of, or she just kind of like nods. So she holds out her hands like, well, I'm sold.
Then it's a deal then. And he extends a hand to you and he says, "You can call me Pharaoh."
Ooh. She grabs your hand, she shakes your hand, and it's like, well, you already know my name, but you can call me Chimera.
Well, Chimera, I'm happy to have you on board.
Alrighty, if the two of you could move to the portal to the right there and enter Night Market Alley.
Bet. Night market.
Night Market!
Market of the night.
Oh dear. I want to put this
Symphony
beer
of the
stein
Market.
down.
And over here we see Cloud Strife.
think
I'm just
it's-
kidding.
I think it's X that you're able to drop an item.
But I'm also holding my dog, so I don't want to let go of that.
It's okay, you walk and drink, you know.
Bring it, I was
don't
gonna say,
worry
just
about
bring it with
you.
Walk and drink.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You can angle it once you're on over.
on, I kind of want to oh, I want to increase the volume of the music a little bit because it's a little quiet. There we go.
For it.
Ben. Right, so now we're in Night Market.
With the overlay of La Rosa's voice. The next is a Skovlin. Immigrated to the country recently. He's a scrapper of sorts. Mostly just kind of roots around junk piles and tries to find bits and baubles. He shares a store with, I believe its original proprietor, a Dagger Islander, but native to here, from what records show. Although it's hard to get a really good picture of her. She's a strange sort, to say the least. And we come to the Smoke and Mirrors 2-tier store in Night Market. On the first floor, Holst, one of your most recent customers, holds out this pile that you brought them that used to be a device. Your bloody thing fell apart on me like one moment after I tried to use it. I want my money back.
Impossible, sir. There's no way it could have fallen apart that easy.
Look at it.
Are you sure you didn't drop it or let someone else use it?
I just immediately tried to turn the thing on and plugged it in, and then now here we are.
Let me see that real quick. Let's see if I know how to fix it for you.
Would you like to be the honorary first roll of the game and make this a tinker?
Sure.
Hell yeah! So
First roll.
I'm pulling up the side menu here. I've got an action pulled up. Let's pull up our friend Pro, and we are going to be selecting Tinker for this. You need to yell at me next time I tell you what to roll because that's your job. Sorry. Old D&D habits die hard. Basically, you tell me what you want to do in an action and what action you want to do it. And I'll tell you if that's a good choice, if it's something that's just not doable, or, if there's something better, I'd try to point you that way. But ultimately, a lot of this game is conversation and negotiating. So if you can convince me, you can do it.
Well, good thing that I was originally going to go with Tinker.
Yippee! I read your mind. So you should be able to roll at the bottom there.
So, effect standard? Oh, wait, no, I see.
Effect standard, the position's risky. Position and effect might change over the course of the game. Basically, consequences get harsher in a desperate situation and easier in a controlled. Standard is the baseline of effect, but then you can also have limited, 0, great, stuff like that.
All right. Let's hit that roll button.
Oh, yes.
6!
A 6! Oh, you start the game with a success! Awesome. Let me stage our friend here. So you go ahead, you just take your tools, and lightning fast as Faro and Chimera are entering the establishment, you put the thing back together. It's solid, it's tight, looks good, and just the person who bought it just kind of blinks.
See, I'm not sure what you did, but right in a jiffy, it's all fixed up for you.
Right. Thank you. Please, continue the rest of your day. Sorry for being irate. I keep pinning you. I'm Sorgy. Look at him. Look at him right now.
Look at him.
Look at that 6.
And we're going to move over Feeder of the Mind to the upstairs. Oh. I skip things in my poor little brain. Kevin, would you like to describe what Holst looks like?
Yes, let me pull him up. So
I'll restage him real quick.
Who's Pulse?
Bring that man up.
pull.
Holst. I'm dropping your real names. You've been
Yeah.
identified.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I thought that was your alias.
Government
No.
name.
Okay.
So
Spoiler.
Whoops.
my guy is about middle in height, bald head, scar going across his face. He has a thick pair of glasses that he has to adjust regularly, and a giant beard, graying beard. He is about middle age
Mhm.
and is dressed decently well. Dressed like someone who looks like they're working on tinkering and also trying to sell people stuff would.
Awesome. All right, let's drift our mind focus. Sorry,
Still at
I guess
Kevin.
I'm just gonna be.
Where's
We're looking at Holst. We're looking at Holst right now. Anyway, we drift upstairs to the room. It smells of sage and incense. Fine smoke drifts through the area. As Magnolia, you sit across the table from a teenager. She's probably about 16 or 17, you're guessing. She's got her hair put up in this bun, kind of bouncing excitedly. So what does it say? Is this is he going to be the one? Are we going to be together forever? And if you'd like to describe Magnolia to the audience.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Magnolia is a oddly pale woman with strikingly unnaturally blue eyes and this big curly mess of silvery white hair. She looks a little too young for her hair to be that white, so not sure where that came from. It's not dyed, I promise. And she wears like these very flowing, drapey clothes. This nice little belt with like little dangly bells. And currently, she is not wearing shoes. And she's got a little bit of red lip going on.
the dogs are out?
The dogs are out, free content. So, so,
Hubba hubba.
Not
oh
free
no.
content.
Oh no. So, on the table are 3 cards: the 9 of swords, the 5 of cups, and the 3 of swords. Internally, Magnolia is going. Externally, she says, "Well, you see, no,
Oh,
but that doesn't mean there won't be a right one. There's always a right one for someone. But this one, no, not this one. If you see here, he causes you a lot of anxiety and stress. And then if you look here at the 5 of Cups, he is going to leave you disappointed. And if you see the 3 of Swords here, they're all piercing that heart. Yeah. Good luck.
I see. I really thought George would be the one this time, but I
No, he's
suppose
probably
not.
stealing from you.
Oh, I. Uh, thank you, Miss Magnolia, and slides you over the money. This is
no,
the third
no.
time
This,
she's been here this month. You don't think things are going well for her?
yeah, she slides the money back over and she says, "This one's on the house, darling."
Thank you, Miss Magnolia.
Now, go tell George to kick rocks for me. Love you. Mwah, mwah.
Right,
And
and
remember, call me Auntie.
Auntie Magnolia. Long walk, short pier. Got it. All right.
There you go. Bye-bye.
And she heads down. Magnolia, you did hear the bell of the store front door while you were in this reading. And Holst, you are the first to see Tharo and Chimera enter.
Okay, so she stretches. Oh, man. How long was I up there?
Quite somewhat.
Hmm. Who are these people?
No idea. They just walked in. How can we help you?
So what is Pharaoh see when he like walks in the store? What's on display?
On the first tier of the store, Kevin, would you like to describe some of the inventions, gadgets, the array?
Yeah. Like, let me think of what should be on there.
I love how, like, me and Kevin are like the shorties.
It is
Yeah.
kind of funny. I originally thought that Pharaoh was much shorter compared to the character model, but no. And in stage, it's like about the same height.
I purposely made my character as ugly as I could. Like, I was cooking and not in a
Damn.
good way. I was trying to burn my food.
You were burning this man.
And just like burning, I have a toaster for sale.
Toaster for sale. But yeah, it's a bunch of fun little oddities. You can kind of smell a little bit of the sage and incense rolling down the stairs. Silver kind of like does that little like cough sneeze upon entering.
Aw.
And
I
you're
think,
not quite sure if my gadgets would work in the first place. The ones you see
Mm.
for sale, at least.
and I think Magnolia would have like her own little counter for like non-reading, like actually selling like spell jars and candles. So you just kind of see like a big crystal just among everything.
So you see this guy he's got a hood on, and a black overcoat, but it is kind of open, so you can see he's got some decent clothes underneath the shawl. And you see him, he's kind of looking at the wall, and he's got like that thinker look, and he's kind of just looking through all of these. And
While he's looking, I'll see how he's dressed and like hobble to the back, take out like the nicer things.
Customers. She does the same. She goes, "We got customers, real ones."
Oh, if you want a good haul, come over here.
And you, gorgeous, you look like you might want a piece of carnelian, yes.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Stop. And she like follow wherever you lead.
I would say Pharaoh. Holst's little scrap with the law has been that he's been rooting around at night and taking things for his gadgets. The thing that you've heard about Magnolia is it's suspected she's involved with the spirit trade in the city.
Okay. Wait, so Kevin, does he actually take out like some finer stuff?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And so he'll notice you pull out some stuff, and he'll say, "Oh, you have some more things in stock."
For our best customers, of course.
I must say, some of these look very interesting. Did you make these yourself, by chance? They don't look standard issue.
Every last one.
Like if you like pull out some of the stuff, he'll like kind of just look at some of those nicer things.
Yeah.
You sure have. Seems you have been busy making a lot of these inventions. Sure, it's taken you quite some time.
I make whenever I'm inspired to do so, which happens to be most of the time.
Well, I can certainly see some inspiration and dedication in some of this craftsmanship. I must say I'm quite impressed.
Thank you, thank you.
I take it you are the owner of this little store?
Well, half of it. She's the other half of the owner. She does fortune telling and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the owner of the tinkering part.
You see Pharaoh kind of like inhale a little bit, and he says, well, I must say, she does bring a nice air of smells to the store.
He said I smell good. She yells over the shop.
Grease smells great. Grease oil.
Right in the middle while they're like checking out like incense scents.
Yeah.
Silver starts to lick like a wheel cap.
Oh
that's
no,
been
you
left out.
might not be bad.
Oh no. Yeah, that might
Shadows,
not
no,
be
don't do
good.
that.
Yeah. Ooh, you might want to get her checked out.
She's eating worse.
She licks your hand immediately.
Mine?
Chimera's.
Oh.
So Pharaoh puts down one of the gadgets back on the counter that he was holding, and he says, I appreciate the effort you put in to put this on display for me, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not exactly here as a customer.
Ah, darn. What are you here for?
Other matters. I was actually pointed in this direction by a good friend of mine, and I was hoping we could have a conversation.
Conversation, you say?
Or
Is the store closed? Or not store or is there any other customers in?
Not at the moment, and if you wanted to close up the store, it's as simple as flipping a sign.
Yeah. I would flip after yeah.
I
Your
will
ears
walk
perk up.
over, flip the sign, close the door.
Mm-hmm.
You have my attention.
so I've been made aware of your affiliation with gadgetry and inventions, and when I heard about you, I thought that you might be just the kind of person that I was looking for. You see, I'm aware of some potential opportunity within these dark streets of Duskvol, and I'm sure you, as well as others, are interested in capitalizing on some of those things as well.
Magnolia.
Oh,
You
yes.
know one thing about Duskfall, and even if it's when human ears aren't listening, others are. You have a back room for talks like this.
Why don't we take this to the back? You know.
And
By all means, lead the way.
If everybody would like to use the door portal over here. There we go. Yippee! My pin actually worked.
Can I ask a question? Oh wait,
Absolutely.
my pin is not. The door's not working for me. Oh wait, hold on. Yes, it did. Sorry.
There we go. Progress.
So I know he's like wearing like with the hood up.
Mhm.
Considering like his nobility, does he look familiar or like
Uh,
seem familiar?
When we jump over to this new location, would you like to roll for that?
I would.
Lovely. What would you like to roll?
So let's see. What do I do it like this?
So, yeah, you pull out the side menu there, and the little dice icon, and
Would it be survey
I
or
see
study?
survey. I could see study as well.
Okay, I have 2 marks. I have like 2 dots filled in for study.
Perfect.
Okay. And then I just click the roll. It was a
Ooh.
5.
A 5. So it's a
Oh wait,
partial
hold on.
success in that case.
Actually, I'm confused.
It
It
was
says
a
it was a
3.
failure.
Oh.
It was a
Oh.
3.
You go with one of the dice.
Yes. So the way that the rolling system works in Blades in the Dark is that when you have multiple points in a skill, you roll and take the highest result. A
You get
1
then
to
I
a 3
failed.
is unfortunately a failure.
Okay.
So Io, you're squinting real hard and you're really focused in on him, and you just not getting it. Maybe he's a comedian, honestly. Could
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
But before we get into the talks of business, I would like to bring our focus to Iris.
Hi.
Where's Iris at?
Iris, the one who is not outlined in LaRose's questionable folks. Because although Faro never really had too much of an eye on you, Iris, you had an eye on him. Working a few shifts in the Dusk Manor Club, you eventually noticed that he had all but suddenly disappeared about 2 weeks ago, which is very unusual for a repeat gambler like him. And through your network, pulling a few strings here and there, you managed to find out that it seems like he's starting to look into new enterprises. Now, a fallen noble from a Leviathan hunting house is quite a tasty treat in Duskvol, and it can be a gold mine of an opportunity. So, when your friend, could you remind me of your little friendly contact, please?
Brill.
Brill, our drug dealer, correct?
Yes.
Brill, who has some connections with the Bluecoats, was able to pull you the list that LaRose shared with Faro. And you decide that the best place... Oh god, my music is so loud. Sorry. You decided that the best way to get involved was to let yourself in through the back door. It wasn't too hard of a process to sneak into the back rooms of the store. Although slightly hidden, this has been something that you've been working on for a little while. You're used to kind of moving about the city this way. And as the 4 of you enter, you find a woman sitting on the couch. Gabby, if you'd like to describe her to us all.
Yep. So Iris is about 5'8", 27 years old. She has a warm brown skin tone and a long, straight black hair that she wears in a long ponytail with kind of fringe bangs around her face. She has bright, piercing sapphire blue eyes, and she tends to only dress in dresses or two-piece sets made of silk or satin in jewel-toned colors.
Hehe,
Hell
pretty.
yeah. Does Io straight up say that?
No.
Valid.
Not yet.
You've been waiting here for a little bit, Iris. The couch is uncomfortable,
Mm.
but you figure, it's probably better than that rickety bar stool over there.
Yeah.
And then finally the door swings open after the lock turns. Magnolia is the first to enter, followed by Holst, Faro, Chimera, and Silver, and then suddenly all five of you plus dog are together.
But we'd still just walked in, right?
Yep, you guys just entered. I would say explicitly, Holst, Magnolia, you were not expecting company.
Yeah, I was just about to say, who are you?
Hi. Sorry to drop in like this. Your friend here. He and I have some unfinished business from back at the club, and I thought best to take the initiative and come right in.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. I feel very welcomed. I'm Iris, and you are?
You can call me Io.
Io, nice to meet you. It's a lovely establishment that you run.
Oh, thank you. I will just say, be careful. You might be sitting on Betty.
Who's Betty?
Betty White. That's her favorite seat.
And you know,
God.
I will just stand right up.
Like, who was Betty?
Game Master,
Uh-huh.
without having to roll for it, does Pharaoh recognize who this is?
How perceptive do you think Pharaoh is while gambling? Let's be real here.
I would not imagine much.
All right. In that case, then I probably would request a roll.
Okay. I don't know what to roll for that, so you're gonna have to guide me.
Okay, so a lot of the visual kinds of skills fall into that insight category. I would say study or survey would definitely be acceptable options if you need the little push there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with.
sure?
I have the same same dots for each, so I'm just gonna
Mhm.
roll this as study,
Cool.
and we'll see what happens.
Study.
It's a 5,
Let's go.
so partial.
Now that she mentions it, you feel like you have seen her around the club before, but you're not sure in what capacity. You don't know if she's a fellow gambler, or maybe you definitely know at the very least she's not the proprietor, which almost brings you a sigh of relief because that could have been bad. But you've seen her around. It's on the tip of your tongue. You're just not quite certain how exactly you know her from there.
Okay, that's good enough, I think.
All right, I
So
guess
he's
I'll
just
jump in.
since it's not his it's not his place or his building. He's just following the lead of the store owners and wherever they designate him to be, as to not be
Come
rude.
on. Why don't you come over? You can sit next to Betty.
I think Betty likes you now.
Here is acceptable, right?
Can I stalk over to Pharaoh by the couch?
Yeah, easy.
Okay. So I'm gonna approach Pharaoh, and she can see a little bit that he recognizes her a tinge, but not quite. And so Iris strikes up a conversation.
Mhm.
Hi there. I'm not sure if you remember me. Normally I'm the one getting you your drinks, dear.
Ooh,
Ah,
I see.
from the club, I'm guessing.
Yes, and I must say, I heard a little bit about your predicament. and thought you might be in need of something more potent.
He kind of like tilts his head at you slightly, and he kind of says, just how aware are you exactly?
Oh, my dear, you're a regular. I always keep tabs on my regulars, They're the best tippers. And alas, in the last couple weeks, your luck has been rather rotten and your tips have been shrinking.
She called you broke.
Did she say that actually?
Yeah, she does.
Well,
Damn.
well,
Poor. No, I'm kidding. That one was a joke.
poor.
Or
That one was a joke.
Well, as unfortunate as it might be, you're not entirely wrong. But yes, I guess it's hard to not notice when the tips start getting smaller, is it?
it is difficult not to notice, and being that I have noticed, I thought maybe I could help.
And why exactly would you want to help me? I would assume it's not entirely out of good faith.
At this point, Iris is going to put one hand on Pharaoh's shoulder and then promptly plop herself in his lap.
Oh,
Damn, okay.
Hell yeah!
It's getting
Pharaoh!
spicy.
This is how this character
Oh, I
works.
didn't know you two were like that.
this is like my house, and I feel like I'm interrupting.
Right next to Betty,
Right
right
next to
in front
Betty.
of Betty,
Right in front of my
Yeah, like-
salad?
My
right
salad,
in front of her, right in front of her salad, right in front of her crystals. Anyway,
Okay, sorry. So Iris So Iris plops herself in Pharaoh's lap and she goes to answer his question. Well, dear, I'm willing to help you because you have something I want.
Well, if you know of my current predicament, you would know that I'm low on funds at the moment, if that's what you're seeking.
Oh, honey, honey, honey. Money is not the issue. Money is easy, baby. People are hard.
I'm kind of blushing, bro.
you
I think
cannot
he
hit
is.
me with. You can't hit me with people are hard while sitting on his lap, bro. You can't do that.
Well, it's
certainly
time to
is.
play in this
Honestly, I
conversation.
thought that was
Sorry,
kind,
guys.
I thought that was kind of funny.
I love it.
That was good.
Anyways, please
Then,
take it away.
what is it, might I ask, that you would like from me?
Connections. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth into a world of privilege that you didn't earn and that now you need to claw your way back into. And while people may be my specialty, it would take years, decades even, for me to worm my way up to the kind of people that you rub elbows with. And while my skills may last, my assets may not. So, I'm willing to help you and even let you dip into my share in this little gang you're forming in return for your connections when you're brought back into grace.
I have silver spoons.
That's lovely, dearest.
Well, that's rather convenient. I was just about to discuss that very matter with these two here. That's why I dropped by.
Well, in which case, let me give you your space while you think on that and you can continue. And she gets up and moves away.
So Farah will stand up from the couch and straighten himself out, and he will look towards the store owners, and he says, so, about the business, like I said.
Yeah.
So, like I had said, I see some opportunity within the streets of Duskvol, and I had heard about some of your interests and what you do here in your store, and I was interested and wanted to look further into it. Perhaps even seeing what you can provide, I was hoping to assemble a group of people that could take advantage of some of the things that lie in the secrets of these streets. If that piques your interest. And, of course, I'm sure that there will be some profit involved. Though, I'm sure, just as well as you two might also know, Duskvol isn't always the safest place.
Oh, I get that. Personally,
Yeah.
I I want to test more of my better tools out. It
Mm,
does sound interesting.
Well, if that is what you want, this could be the perfect opportunity for you if you accept whatever gadgets you want to create and test out for yourself. It could be like your own personal playground.
but what's in it for me, though?
For you, well, you seem to be very in tune with the arcane and some things that not many people are brave enough to deal with. Am I correct?
Mm, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes having someone like you could make things a little bit easier and perhaps more interesting, having
Well,
other sources of assets and benefits on the other side.
well, again, that's how I benefit you, but how does this benefit me?
Well, that depends on what you seek. What is it that you
Mm.
are looking to gain?
Mm.
I don't know your interests. I've only heard a little bit about you two. What you want out
Mm.
of this is for you to explain to me.
And what do you want?
Like I said, to take advantage of some hidden dealings that are in the dark. Perhaps gaining some profits
Understood.
along the way.
Money. Got it.
In essence, if you want to bring it to that, then yes.
I'm
I,
looking for someone. That's what I'm interested in.
someone who, unless you prefer not to share, I do not want to pry.
No, 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 no. Um, he was a Leviathan hunter.
Have we tried the phone book?
Have I tried the phone book? Have you tried, um, I don't know, talking to the dead? I can do that.
I fought the dead.
Haha, cute.
I presume this Leviathan hunter you speak of, is he part of the deceased or, as far as you know, still within the mortal realm?
He must be living. I'm sure he's living. He must be. I'm sure. Yes, yes. Living. Yes.
Well, of course. I wouldn't have tried to assemble a group together if I could not try to offer a benefit to you as well with my own skill set. It's
She
only
said you have
fair.
connections.
And
This lady.
this lady is correct.
I usually am.
I
I
do
like you.
happen to have connections within the city of Duskfall. I could perhaps try to gather information, whatever information that you all want, for whatever it is that you're looking for the most. Perhaps I could help provide that for you. I do have some deep connections that run through the city, and maybe be able to gather some information where it's not as easily accessible.
So, Pharaoh told us his alias, right?
No, not yet.
That's what I thought.
As
Okay.
of right
'Cause I
now,
was gonna ask
only
that.
only Chimera. He has only told Chimera his alias so far.
And
Correct.
what may I call you, stranger?
You can call me Pharaoh.
Okay, Pharaoh. Do you know what it's like to be a dead man?
Not yet, and preferably, I'd like to keep it that
I do.
way.
I do.
It's not fun.
It's not. It's not.
Riveting, darling. Do you have a point?
She
You have a
actually,
knife in her hand.
she actually does.
I
In
do,
that way,
see?
it only furthers the point that I was trying to make, my dear. You, like I said, dangers and arcane that other normal people aren't willing to brave.
Mm. If there's a chance for me to find what I'm looking for, I'm in.
And Pharaoh looks over towards what's his name? I forget your character's name. Prophet.
My actual name
Yeah.
or my alias?
Your actual name, because I think he
Holtz.
Holt. He looks to you and he says, "And how about you? Does this pique your interest? If you need help with looking for anything to help with your inventions, I could try to help you there as well. This wouldn't be fair if there weren't any mutual benefit."
I get paid. I get to create new things. I think I can get behind this proposition.
And I will make sure that you do, because, of course, I want to split any profits that we had gained as evenly as possible. If we're all putting in an equal amount of effort, I'd say it's only fair that we each get an equal share in the riches. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course. But you can call me Prophet, by the way, so you have something to call me.
Very well, Prophet. I'm glad that we could come to an agreement. And he walks up to you and he extends a hand to you.
I'll give you a nice firm handshake.
Nice, firm.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
And then he looks over to Iris. And he walks over and he says, "And you? Like I said,
Oh.
I'm sure you're aware as well, the streets of Duskvol are dangerous."
Baby, I know better than most.
Then I take it you're also a fan of the proposition?
It sounds good to me.
And then he will extend a hand to you and he says, "Then, welcome to the crew."
Rather than actually shaking his hand, she puts out her hand like a princess, like he's supposed to kiss it,
Mm-hmm.
and goes, "Sounds perfect. Thank you."
He'll grab your fingers and shake the hand for you. And then he lets go.
Iris grimaces when she drops her hand back down.
And he's-
I can't be seen kissing the hand of the poor anyway.
Just does that to me. Fucking claw grip.
And then he walks over and he kind of outlooks and sees all of you standing, and he says, "Well then." And then he takes the hood down, revealing his shiny bald head.
Bald.
And
Bald.
he says,
Bald. Anyway,
he says,
Brother.
I suppose that makes this crew official.
You just turn around and you just see Io's face in like the belly of the dog.
Please don't harass my dog.
Silver's like rolled over and tell me if this made it to print, Sam, because I know it was talked about. Silver has how many legs?
6.
Six. Her 6 legs kicking in the air.
So there's 4 front legs, and then the back legs, there's 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'm just giving scratches.
So
Her tongue
with the
rolls out, mist, like comes out like a fog machine.
hell yeah, we have a crew, ladies and gents. To give you all the quick rundown, so everybody is on the same page when it comes to crew creation. Our crew type is shadows. We're gonna be thieves and spies. The base, of course, is going to be the Smoke and Mirrors here in Night Market, the back rooms of it. Oh god, we're in the back rooms. Anyway,
The back rooms.
the back rooms. The crew's reputation is going to be subtle, and the hunting grounds will be in 6 towers. Reputation basically is a way for the crew to level up, just like the players have different ways to level up. So the more subtle the crew is overall, the better points you get. When it comes to our group contact, we have LaRose, as shown through Pharaoh. And the group ability is called Synchronized, which means that whenever we perform group actions, which I will explain a little bit if we ever get into one, and possibly this score, is that if 2 6s are rolled between the group, it is not just considered a success, it is considered a critical, and which normally can't happen. Haha. And to run you through our factions and upgrades, you have a +1 status with the Blue Coats, because they like LaRose, and a -1 status with the Grey Cloaks, because they hate LaRose.
Makes sense.
True.
You have a -1 status with the Dimmer Sisters for taking their underground tunnels and passkeys, which is a fun little upgrade that lets you move around the city. Very nice. You gain a +1 status with Lord Skurlock, who was a mysterious benefactor granting you the funds necessary for the workshop in your lair. And last but not least, as moving into this new gang, in their territory specifically, you rub shoulders with the Wraiths, and rather than deal with their wrath for stepping on their toes, the crew ultimately decided to throw money their way and earn their respect, earning a +1 status. Alrighty. How's everybody feeling
So
right now?
we are
quick
established.
stream check-in.
We're established in Night Market officially.
Yes, you are officially established. Your base is located at Night Market. Your hunting grounds would mainly be 6 towers. How's everyone feeling? We're so cool, so good?
We're so cool.
Mhm.
Everybody is so cool.
Anyone need a
Alright.
potty break?
Yes, I was going to offer, if we'd like to do a little midstream break, allow people to do whatever they need, and rope it on back after that. I think now is a pretty good time because we're going to be getting into the score information since we've done all the fun setup.
Yeah, I could probably use a quick bathroom break myself.
Awesome. Alrighty. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back shortly. Welcome. We are back. Alrighty. So, after the few weeks necessary to get everything established and together, Faro, you're
Weeks?
looking over. Oh yeah, it takes time to build your connections and get
Oh.
what. Well, I'd say probably about like 2 weeks total after introductions. The gang has built up what they needed. They've gotten the assets they've acquired, and Faro, you're kind of scratching your poor bald head for a little bit once the gang is fully put together because it feels like a dry spell. You're a little worried right now. Doesn't seem like there's too many things going on, but then Io, when you're running the storefront, a letter slips through the box, the little slot in there,
We got
with
a letter.
no clear address or much writing. It's just lists. Faro is what is on the outside of the envelope.
Ooh. Mail. She puts it in her little shawl. Is Faro still in the shop?
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah, you'd be
in
able
the
to head
lair.
right into the back rooms of the lair,
Yeah, she
and
tucks it
present it
into
to
one
him.
of her she tucks it into one of her many scarves, and she'll just shuffle on back. Hello?
Hello, you're here.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
You've got a letter.
I was gonna start singing that.
You just got a letter. Anyway,
Letter.
I
You just
wonder
got
who
a
it's
letter.
from.
I
I
also
wonder
who it's
it's
from.
from.
Alrighty.
So he'll take the mail.
She will like put her hands like very slowly, kind of hag like over his shoulder and like just read it with him.
He doesn't move his
She's
head,
such a
but he's
freak. I
like
really like her.
he like
Anyway.
his eyes like slit to the side real quick of the shoulder that she's from for like a second, and then he like
Mhm.
lowers an eyebrow, and then he goes back to the letter.
It reads, "Hello, young Victor. I've heard you find yourself in dire straits. Come to my office in the docks and let's talk business." Signed, Axel Leland. Axel is a foreman in the docks. Specifically, they manufacture chains, anchors, metalwork, and the like. He's a contact of your father, and although your father basically cut you off from reaching out to these people, he never really said anything about the other way around.
This is true, and like he knows that this guy is a contact of the Towson house.
They've done business before in the past. They're not super friendly, but enough that he knows your and your father's name.
Okay. He reads that and kind of gives a slight nod, and he like neatly folds up the letter again.
She nods too. Ooh.
And
She nods too.
and he like turns and kind of announces to those in the crew that are present, and he says, "Well, it seems like we finally have something."
Can I ask a quick GM question?
Yes.
The name on the letter, what was it? Axel what?
Leland. So that would be
Leland.
Axel, Axel, like my name but scrambled.
Like
And then
the dog's name.
like your dog. And Leland would be Lelland.
Okay. Lloyd. Got it.
Lloyd.
So
Void.
Lloyd.
I named you.
I named you. Anyway.
So would that name sound familiar?
Axel. Let's see. You've got some connections here. What would you want to do to try and like bring that to your mind? What kind of action you think feels appropriate?
Like if I were to roll, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would probably be I want to say survey.
Okay.
Like trying to
Yeah. Because in this case, it would have
oh,
been who you noticed in the past. Yeah, I like survey. That's a good option.
fail.
Oh,
Bam.
Oof.
It's okay.
One trait about Io is she has no object permanence. As soon as something leaves her sight, it's gone forever.
Her memory is bad and for good reason.
Unless the
True.
ghosts tell her.
Absolutely. So yeah, name doesn't really strike any bells with the rest of you other than Faro.
Okay.
yeah. So he announced that out to you guys if anyone responds.
What did you say before?
He says it seems we finally have something now.
What's
Well,
the
don't be a
details?
tease. Spill.
A contact down at the docks has requested to talk business.
What kind of business?
Well, that's for us to find out, I would assume. Not
So we're
really
just
many
gonna go
details
down.
here.
So we're just going to go down there blindly.
Well, not entirely blind. The name is a little familiar to me.
And we'll be able to see, silly.
I mean, we don't know what it is we're walking into or what this person wants.
I'm with her.
Mm.
It sounds like they want a job done.
I'd imagine if they were sending a letter, they wouldn't send details like that out in the open that could have been intercepted by anyone.
You'd be surprised.
All right, then, should we go?
If you feel it's unsafe, you don't have to join. I'll be making the trek there for anyone that wants to accompany me.
I'll join you.
Okay.
He
I'll
kind of
be
hired
there.
me, so I have to.
We already closed up shop for the day, so
Right. Then I
All right,
suppose
so-
we should begin making our way.
So who's going to stay behind and who's meeting with Axel?
Pharaoh's obviously going.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go as well.
Alrighty.
I'm joining.
I'll stay behind
Cool.
and guard the fort.
Now don't
Great.
sell anything that's not yours.
No promises.
I think I'll go as well.
Okay, so Chimera will be the one hanging behind. All right, awesome. Cool. So let's take this cast of 4. I don't have a map for this one. I'm sorry, guys. But humor me. You guys make your way over to the docks. And once you're there, it's a big old warehouse. A lot of them look kind of samey in Duskvol. And upon entry, you see the heavy iron chains, anchors being forged, sparks flying. It's just kind of like you navigate your way around until in his office, opening up the door, this big old man, thick mutton chops, looks down. Victor, my boy!
Oh, Axel. It has been some time, hasn't it?
It hasn't. It looks like you brought some company and quite some lovely gems, if I must say.
Pharaoh, who's this big hunk of man that you know?
Oh, ooh, this one's sweet. I like her already.
Likewise.
I didn't pack any gems.
But Your eyes, dearest, they sparkle like. He's really stumbling. He's not sure what to say next.
Sapphires, you could say.
Yes, sapphires, very, very bright blue sapphires. He has like a little bit of a weirded out look, which is how intently Io stares at him. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. She goes, thanks.
anyways, my office. Come in. Let's talk business.
And follow him in.
Alright. Yep, you head right on in. Okay, he shuts the door, locks it behind. All right.
We get in. Pharaoh says, "So, old friend, you said you wanted to talk business."
Yes. So I've had an infernal streak of bad luck. Tell me, have you heard of the Lost?
The Lost. Probably not,
Yes,
right?
They're a group of upstarts. Not unlike yourself. It's just they're a little more, how you could say, anti-establishment. Let's put it that way.
Have they been?
We perform
have they been a bit
necessary
destructive?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yes, they've been quite a thorn for me and my fellow foremen. They find whatever opportunity they can to harry us at every turn, whether it's broken or missing tools, or suddenly a rail guard is gone, and a foreman takes an unfortunate tumble, and suddenly there's a bell in the docks. You know, unfortunate things that you can bring back to them. The point of it is, the Lost aren't that established. They're weak. They really only just really started kicking in Duskfall, which means that they should be easy enough to kick down, if you know what I mean.
I quite understand.
So you want us to compete with them?
I want you to find... That's not the voice. I want you to find their... I want you to find their gear and give them a taste of their own medicine. You know, just dip it in acid or throw it in a river or get rid of it or burn it or take it and sell it. I don't really care. The point of it is, I want you to make it harder for them to do their next job, because I have a sneaking suspicion I might be next on that list.
Don't you worry, we can make things very hard.
And
I
I'm sure
imagine that's
that
quite a talent of yours, miss.
sabotaging their own supply will definitely halt their progress if they're aiming to make any more moves against you, I'd say.
Precisely. We tip the scales back in our favor, because the thing about these puffed up the thing about these people is they don't understand that Duskfall runs on hard work. It needs labor. It needs people to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. You know, coin isn't just thrown out at every passerby. We wouldn't have a city with laws like that. People work for their bread, and they work hard, and their work deserves to be respected. We build the foundations of the city. It's Leviathan hunting that keeps Akoros strong. Wouldn't you agree?
And without that hard labor, Duskvol would be under much bigger threat from the monsters that lurk outside, probably waiting, chomping at the bit to get a hands on some human flesh. But with the hard labor that's involved and building the city up from its foundations, the citizens of the city never have to deal with such things.
Exactly. You get it, my boy. Your pup raised you well. Anyhow, you find this agreeable?
I, I think we could tackle this bit for you. And of course, I wouldn't want to leave an old friend suffering by themselves, having to deal with some ruffians trying to sabotage their own work.
That's my boy. A
Now,
good chap this one is.
if I may, I'd like to ask a question of you, if you can provide something for me.
Please.
These lost that you want us to target, do you have any sort of idea on how they usually operate? If they have any sort of pattern that they work by? Anything you might have noticed?
Well, of course, they wait for the lights to go out, to starters. Rumor has it they've taken up residence over in Coleridge. If you want to hit them, that's the place. Uh, they bounce around a little bit, but they mostly move Dunslow, Docks, Coleridge, and bully whoever they can find and make things just worse for the common people of Duskvol trying to make some honest money, you know? We don't want that.
Of course not. Now, that is some good information. At least now we'll know where we need to be.
Excellent. All right. Well, if you're satisfied, I say you can take it to the next step, and once you've done the deed, just come on by, and I'll make sure everything's squared away.
And of course, my friend. I'm sure you'll be hearing from us very soon.
Excellent.
And he'll shake his hand in to seal the deal.
Perfect. Was there anything else that the three of you wanted to say or do?
Nope.
Lovely. Alrighty. I'm gonna unstage our friends here because something's gonna happen with our friend Chimera back at home.
No,
Believe,
not
believe,
this
Chimera's
stop.
gonna die. I'm just kidding. I hope not.
Chimera burns down the establishment.
Anarchy!
I should have stayed back.
Sam, please stay still for one moment. Thank you. Okay.
No!
I'm
cannot
trying to
silence
give you
her.
this. I'm trying to give you the spotlight. I'm not trying to silence you. I'm trying to lift you up. It's not too long after the four of them go to meet with Axel that there's a knock on the front door. Chimera.
Those are people?
It looks like one person, a Ruvian, hair put back.
No, I said, is there a people?
Oh yeah, I heard. Is there people? And that. So
That's
looking
what
for
you
people
see.
is what you see. You see a person.
Okay. I'll open the door just a little bit, like poke my head through. Yes?
Hey, I know the no, the sign says closed, but if I'm right, you run some other business. She kind of gives you a little wink.
She has no idea what she's talking about, but she just says, sure! And she opens up the door.
Yep, just lets her in, comes right on. All right, I'll get to it. My name's Huda. I'm from the Lost, and we've been keeping an eye on Axel, who it seems like most of your crew has went to speak with.
You don't know that.
Listen. Oh, but I do, darling. Ah, listen, Axel's a pig, a cheat, and a bleeder. He's constantly overworking everyone in that warehouse to bare bones, skimping as far as he can, clocking hours wrong, doing whatever he likes. He's one of the city's oppressors. It's just he's not high enough on the pecking order for anyone to take notice. Bluecoats have looked into him before, and suddenly they didn't care to look into him anymore. We want to stick to him, but we have suspicions that he's looking to hire some muscle to take us off the map. I was hoping to speak with more of you here, but listen, I know the crew's new, right? This could be a real opportunity to stake your claim in Duskvol and let it be known what your crew stands for. What I'm asking, break into Axel's warehouse. Go ahead, trash the place. Do whatever it is you want to do. And although I might not be able to offer as much as he can off of face value, there's a safe in his office. He uses it for his pleasure funds. You're welcome to rob it blind.
How can I trust you that what you're saying is true?
I used to be a Red Sash, and their whole empire is built on lying and violence. I joined the Lost because I wanted to make a real difference in the city. And if you want, you can roll on this.
Sure.
Alrighty, what do you want to do to gauge Huda? See if she's being forthright.
Wait, how do I select which one I want to use?
So when you click the select action, you'll see all of the options there, as well as the little descriptions.
Oh, okay.
So what skill do you want to use for this?
I'm gonna use study.
All right, sounds good to me. Since you have no study, it's going to be 2 dice and roll the lower. And take the lower. So you can go ahead and hit the roll button there.
Oof.
Damn. Huda seems to have really strong convictions. It could just be maybe Chimera's seen a little bit too much to believe a bleeding heart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we'll wait at Coleridge for your answer. Just let the rest of them know.
Sure you don't want to stay? I'm sure they're gonna come back.
I have to head back. I have to be ready. And with that, kind of shrugs her shoulders, gets her pack, heads on out. Rest of the crew comes back into the back rooms.
Woo!
All right,
We're here.
and I open the floor to y'all.
Time to commit crimes.
Time to crime.
Let's see here.
So, Chimera, do you bring up your encounter to the group?
I'm actually gonna let them take the lead, and she's gonna ask, like, so how was the trip?
Well, my initial suspicions were correct. It seems our contact has a job for us after all. It seems that there's another upstart crew similar to us that has been causing him some trouble, and he's asked us to sort of put a halt on their progress, I suppose.
I didn't like him.
What's the cruise name called again? The Lost one?
They called them.
The Lost, yeah.
The Lost. Would this crew happen to be called The Lost?
You were
Yes.
made aware.
I mean, one of the members actually just came to our doorstep
Ooh, a customer.
outside of business hours.
Ah, darn.
And what did they have to say?
Well, they said that. What's the guy's name again? Sorry.
Axel. You're
Axel.
good.
He is a mean man that works people to death and basically propositioned us to take their side and take down Axel. And
Oh.
also, actually, no, never mind.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
How so?
Well, we are trying to move up in the world, are we not? Our fearless leader over here, and she gestures to Pharaoh, is trying to get back in his family's good graces. Axel is one of their contacts. So what? We should burn bridges? And for what? Some gang who we don't know anything about and their ideals? Ideals don't pay the bills, and ideals certainly don't wrap you in silk.
Listen, I'm all for getting new silk. But I just think we should consider both sides of the story, the coin.
Yes, both sides. The rich side and the poor side. And I thought we knew where we were going.
You know the easy road is not always the right road.
I don't care what's right. I care what helps us.
I'm gonna take a couple steps back.
Let me use my staging. I gotta use my
Where's
my GM abilities. Boom, bomb.
Where's Kevin? Where did you go?
Where is
I'm
Prophet?
right here.
This is
Oh, there you are.
The chair.
Underneath the
so
table.
funny.
He's under the table.
I
I was confused.
How could you not see me?
Iris is actually going to disengage Chimera, and she's going to walk over to Pharaoh and stick like a hand on his shoulder and lean down towards his ear.
Mm-hmm.
She goes,
Pharaoh's kind of like, you two are bickering. You can see he's kind of just thinking.
so once she's over there, Iris whispers to him, so you don't want this, do you? You don't want to ruin one of the only contacts left who was able to reach out to you? Who knows how we're going to pick up other jobs? We're going to blow up our one lead that we have and ruin one of your father's friends?
I'm not so concerned as losing a contact. I'm more concerned about the power that each side holds.
Exactly.
And by that, I mean, it seems, Chimera, you seem to be looking at the side of the lost and leaning towards their perspective. However, you have to take into account, because they are upstarts like us, siding with them and going against a higher power might not always be the best solution.
When is that ever the best solution?
Not to mention, Axel had brought up that the Lost had even caused his foreman to go missing.
Have
The
we
what? Do you wanna tell-
considered that?
Sorry, go.
Sorry. I was gonna say, have we considered that maybe the foremen switched sides? Maybe they want to unionize.
Iris is going to turn to Io and say, this isn't about unions. This is about what's best for us. Maybe we should unionize.
Maybe we should. Unions are good.
So
Get
do we
people
want
better wages.
a powerful ally now, or potential for a great ally later?
I think the Lost can be good allies. I mean, you always want to be on the side of the people that are up and coming. You never want to underestimate the underdog.
Potential. What signs have they shown us that they're going to be powerful at all? They sound like a group of street kids.
We're a group of street kids.
None of us are kids. Your business partner is in his middle age.
He's kind
Hey,
of a
he's
kid.
going through a crisis right now, okay?
No, he is not.
Farrell actually looks towards Prophet and he says, You've been kind of quiet. I'm curious as to where you stand on this matter.
Frankly, both sides are most likely doing some shady business. Getting rid of either side, there are the pros for it. We get an ally, we get an enemy.
Either way.
Yeah, he does bring up a good point. We'll be making an ally on one side and an enemy of the other. Either way, no matter which side we take, we are going to run into complications.
Speedrun enemies, destroy both, easy dub. They'll never see it coming.
You'll never see it. Anyway.
Well, I, for one, would rather have powerful friends than powerful enemies.
Powerful friends that could stab you in the back.
Anybody can stab you in the back. This is Duskvol. It's what we do here.
For all we know, the Lost could stab us in the back as well. Have you considered that as well? There is the chance that they could also be using us to do more of their dirty work, and then capitalize off of our backs.
They probably are.
I'm not assuming that they will, but you can't rule out the possibility.
Well, if you want to speak to them yourselves, they told us to meet in where?
Coleridge.
Coleridge.
I'd like to hear them out.
A meeting in Coleridge would mean that we accept their side of the deal, and if the foreman at the docks got word, we would immediately be making an enemy, and Axel would be well aware.
Exactly. We need to make a decision.
Wait, hold on. Why would us going to Coleridge immediately be a decision?
If we're found going to Coleridge,
I see. Got it.
walking in there peacefully, even if it were just to hear them out, any foreman that might see us walking in casually may take that as an act of traitorous intent.
Hear me out. I got this. We rob them both.
That is
Actually,
most
I like
likely
that.
it's most likely the most dangerous option out of any of those.
That would leave us with two enemies, no allies, and who's going to pay us for our work?
Well, we pay
Easy.
ourselves by robbing them.
And we'd have to expend more resources if we were to rob them both, which currently, with our size, we don't have that many.
Io, with all due respect, as fun as stealing may sound, in my line of work, I've found the best way to acquire funds is to get people to hand it to you willingly. If we get in the good graces of powerful people with plenty of funds, more should come our way, and we wouldn't have to put ourselves at risk.
Got it.
Alrighty. So,
And
how are we leaning? Or are we still discussing?
I have a GM question.
Yes.
Can I try and sway my own teammates?
You
Ooh.
can. Ultimately, it is up to the teammate to decide how much reaction that has over them. But, like, yeah, it's something you can do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try it.
All right. Hell yeah. Let's go. I'm setting you up for player Iris, and you said Sway, correct?
Yes. So Iris is going to
Very
go
cool.
back up to Pharaoh again. And she's going to put both hands on her shoulders and then start to just slowly push them down.
I don't know why you're trying to convince Pharaoh. He's kind of on your side here.
Yeah, but he's also like objectively sort of
Thinks
in
he's a
charge.
leader.
So if he puts his foot down, then I get my way.
Okay, good.
That's the idea.
I guess so.
Sorry, my character is just always sexually assaulting you, but this is how it works.
We have
This is
plenty
how
of
it works.
guns. Do you want a gun to protect yourself, Fair?
Okay.
Well, technically, according to my playbook, I always have a concealed palm pistol available to me.
Even
So
better.
Is that a pistol
a
in your pocket, or
gun.
are you just happy to see me?
unless I'm shooting the pistol with my penis,
Okay. So going back. So
Not
Iris
the
is
penis pistol. Anyway.
trying to get through this. So Iris is sliding her hands kind of onto Pharaoh's collarbone and is whispering in his ear. And she goes, "You know that the best way to stay in power is to make friends with powerful people. You're the leader. You should decide what we do, and I think you know the right decision." So I'll roll. I rolled 2, I think. So I have 2 pips.
Yep. So I think I set you up in the system, so you should be able to just click the
Rolling real
roll.
dice, Alex.
Ah, alrighty. I'll accept it.
And my real dice got a 6. Thank you.
You real dice got a 6. All right.
I mean, again,
Pharaoh,
you didn't really need
she's very persuasive.
you didn't really need too much convincing, as he was already sort of leaning towards your side anyway.
Mhm.
So he like kind of stands there for a sec, and then he looks out to like all of you and says, "I understand. Now there's a conflict of interest, and making a decision like this is never going to be easy. However, we can't ignore the advantages of helping out a side that has some more power. Either way, this is a game that we'll be playing a decent risk in. And besides, as far as I see right now, there's some slight larger advantages in having Axel on our side than the Lost." If the Lost do attempt to retaliate against us, I feel we have a better chance against them than against those foremen. And I'd rather not put us at a larger risk of anything that might include us getting killed.
I think we could get killed either way.
But against other upstarts, I see our chances being better at surviving.
Listen, I don't disagree. And I definitely see where both you and Iris are coming from. But I don't know how much you perceived going in there. But there was a young worker who had quite a few bruises. And if you notice, Axel's hands weren't exactly unharmed or unscathed themselves.
Io, while you're very perceptive, I fail to see how that's our problem.
Because he's hiring us for a job that he's probably framing someone on.
What do you mean?
His foremen are going missing. and he's blaming some upstart gang. He's abusing his own workers.
Thinking again.
I was about to say that was a long, quiet pause. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried that I almost disconnected.
Me too. I was like, oh.
Hello.
I was waiting to see if
Hello.
anybody else wanted to comment.
Hmm.
Well, why not just tail both of them before we make our final answer?
Because they're worried we're going to get caught.
And we'll never
Which-
achieve anything twiddling our thumbs, tailing people.
Are you often this brash?
Are you often this stupid?
Say the same to you.
Oh.
Listen, I know what I want, I know what we need, and I'm trying to make a decision that's in the best interest for this group. If you want to listen to some bleeding heart idealists, that is your prerogative, but I remain unconvinced.
Listen, if he's willing to frame some no names, what's going to stop him from framing us in the future and then you end up in a damp, moldy jail cell as a nobody? Just because he didn't like the way we did things later down the line. So, yes, it may be the better option in the long run to get money or influence, but one misstep and he could have us the same way he is making us do to them.
How do you people not see that Axel is not the top of the food chain? We use him to make stronger allies in the future. We are not going to have our fates determined by a warehouse owner. However, if we align ourselves with every urchin off the street, we're never going to get anywhere and have any influence whatsoever.
I think you're putting too much into morality. We're getting hired for a simple job.
Exactly.
Don't look too much into it.
You have to remember as well, as of this point, we are working in the underworld of Duskvol. Morality is the least of our concerns.
Don't say that to me like it's something that's new.
It's not new, but it seems you're afraid to face it.
I'm not afraid to face it. I'm afraid to be on the wrong side. Because I've had people go missing.
Then we'll make our side the right side. No more, no less.
So are we agreed?
Seems like
Ultimately,
3 to 2
I
favor.
refuse to pursue this until we all are in agreement, because if we are not in agreement, then we will not be able to cooperate, and if we can't cooperate, then we'll die. So, where do you stand? And he looks out to each of you. Whose side do we take here?
Well, you know my opinion. Prophet, how about you?
I'm on the side of getting rid of our opponents. More jobs for us later down the road.
Chimera, what say you?
Whatever. Pharaoh hired me. I'll follow him.
Io?
Who cares? As long as I get what I want at the end of the day.
Well, Farah, there you
Alright.
go.
So now we're in agreement. We raid Coleridge, and we sabotage the gear of the lost, and put a halt on anything that they're doing.
No, we'll just have to think of a good plan.
And this is where we move. Look, all of y'all. Let me unstage everybody. And also, I want to say you guys are so great.
I also because I was like idle at my computer for so long, I was like, I just saw the notification in Discord on my phone that you had told at least one of us to stay behind.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad
see it after the
Chimera
fact,
stayed behind.
and
I was like, huh?
I saw it after the fact, and I was like, damn.
Well, Pharaoh has to go. Pharaoh has to go, obviously.
Yeah.
So, it's not a choice for you.
That'd be
Yeah.
kind of
It was just
weird.
like, I
It'd be
want to make
kinda-
sure that someone is here.
It'd be kind of cringe.
Outing me to the whole stream. Damn. Anyway. But lovely people, we're moving to the score section of the game.
I like that we're already butting heads. This is so like a crew of upstart criminals.
It's perfect. I made this to be this way, and I love that it's working.
Gabby's extremely confrontational.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alrighty.
This is how it went.
So right now we have the score where you're going after the lost. You're trying to get rid of trying to destroy their equipment. There are 6 ways on how you can approach a score. The thing about Blades in the Dark is that planning in this stage is minimal. We basically decide what route you're going, one little detail about it, and anything that comes up where it's just like, oh, it would be really good if I did this, you can call a flashback, where you tell me, flashback, Alex, and then you tell me what you want out of that flashback. Sometimes it will cost a little bit of stress. Sometimes it will be a roll. It depends on what's really being asked for. But the 6 ways that you can at least get into a score would be assault, doing violence to a target, deception, lure, trick, manipulate, stealth, trespass unseen, occult, engage a supernatural power, social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade, or transport, carry cargo or people through danger. Each of these has a different detail, which will be like the main point to focus at the start of the score. So, with this in mind, set up for Coleridge going after the lost, what approach would you guys like to go for?
I feel like
Please say them all again slower.
Yes. So it would be assault, do violence, deception, lie, trick, manipulate, stealth, sneak in, occult, do something spooky, social, like bat your eyelashes, or transport, move things.
I feel like the one that makes the most sense for this is stealth.
Yeah.
I'm down.
If
for
you guys
stealth.
agree.
Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. So with stealth, the detail needs to be the point of infiltration. So, as per your crew, you have underground passageways. It can be just a way to sneak into the rail yard, unless you guys had a specific detail that you wanted to throw at me.
Well, since we have the passage, I feel like it would make sense to use it if we can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
when we
Especially
get
if it leads us to the target.
Just keep in mind, I do have a line thrower.
Awesome.
So
Love that.
if we need that at any point in this mission, that's definitely an option that we have.
So our hidden detail is going to be our passageways. Very cool.
Oh, I like
Very
these.
sick.
I see you type it out.
Yep.
That's cool.
You get to see me make it happen. Now, if you open your playbooks and go to the play section, you'll see this little funny thing called load. Load is how much your character brings for this mission. Load, you do not have to decide what it is used beforehand, but in the instance where you think it is the most useful. There is light, medium, and heavy load. And the numbers basically show you how many things you can carry and use in one score. Light, you kind of just look like a person. It's the most inconspicuous. If you're caught, you can probably play it off. Heavy, you look like an armed thug. You look like you're ready to go to war. Medium is an in-between where you still kind of look like a criminal, but you at least have more leadway than, oh, here's my bazooka that I'm totally not going to shoot at anybody.
Here's my giant rocket launcher.
Here's my rocket launcher.
I have a question, actually.
Yes.
So on my load, I have a train hunting pet. So will that count against me, or?
So anything in your load which is in italics does not cost load.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The answers it perfectly.
So each player chooses how much they want to bring to a score individually. So let's start with Faro. How much you want to pack?
Do I want to pack heat?
You always do.
I think Faro's gonna go in light.
Light. Got it. Profit.
How much would the line thrower be?
Line thrower would fall under gadgets, which would
So
just be
just
one
one.
load to use. Mm-hmm.
So would it be one for the line thrower and one for the grappling hook and stuff to fire it?
No, so the
Or is it
line
all
thrower
together?
itself includes
Okay.
everything. It would just fall right under gadgets.
Then I should be good with light as well.
Perfect. So 2 light loads. Iris.
I'm gonna do light as well.
Okay. Io.
Like,
And Chimera.
Kind of torn between light or normal. Just because fighting's kind of my forte.
And any item where it has like a little line between the 2 slots costs 2 load to carry. So like armor or a heavy weapon means you have to sacrifice 2 load in order to use that thing.
So I get to do 5 items for normal, right?
Yep. Are we feeling normal?
Yeah, I'm feeling normal. Sorry.
All right. With that in mind, everybody's set. 4 light, 1 normal.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's move over to our roll. So, you always get 1 die for sheer luck when you get into a score. This is the engagement roll. It basically places how well the score starts, which can either be really good or really bad, like all things in Duskvol. You always start with 1 die, and then we go through a little checklist to determine how many pluses and minuses you get. So to start, is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I would say so.
And these are questions you answer. You tell me.
I wouldn't say it's too daring. I feel like it would be daring if we went for the big guy.
Yeah. I don't think there's any benefit or disadvantage there. It's pretty
Okay.
normal. We're against another crew that's similar to ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know
But-
anything about these people.
Exactly.
We're punching in our weight class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the same time, it is not really overly complex, so you don't take a minus either. So we're going to stay at that even 1. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Would they suspect an entry from a hidden passageway?
It is a hidden passageway.
I feel like that would be an advantage there.
Cool. I like it. I like it. I'll throw you 1 on that bad boy. Next bit. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? In this case, Axel does not count. So it would
Okay.
be any contacts you guys have, or a friendly faction you think might be willing to help you.
Does this gang like drugs?
No, this gang is a stick in a mug. They're basically an anti-gang. They want
do
to
they like-
stop all the violence and bad things in Duskvol and the drug trade.
Okay,
Cool,
do
I
they
got
like God? Do they go to church?
Honestly, a
Because
lot of the lost description mentions a sense of repentance. I could definitely see some of these members going to church.
then I might actually have a friend.
I love that. Could you tell us the name of that friendly contact?
Melista, a priestess.
Perfect. Awesome. So, yeah, I'd say Melissa would be able to provide you with some insights as to what you're up against, what she's heard in confession. You do get the notice, besides some ex-gang members and people who are thrown in prison, there are also a few ex-soldiers in the Lost as well. And I will give you the 1D for that. Wahoo! Are there
1D.
any of 1D? Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target will give you a bonus, or a higher tier will give you a minus. Now, right now you're at tier 0, and the loss is at tier 1. I'm gonna say, because they're not super prepared, I'm not gonna subtract anything from you. This is your first score. I want you to do well. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Subtracts all the dice.
are we content with rolling 3 dice for our engagement roll?
I think we're set here.
Let's go crazy. 4.
A
So a 4 is a risky starting position. It is much better than the freeze. So
2 3s and a 4. Fuck.
let us warp, shall we? I'm gonna move y'all. You're getting teleported.
We're getting scooped.
We'll load. You're getting scooped.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
We're committing crimes, people. Get ready.
Ruh-roh. My internet's slow.
Not again.
Everyone is moving.
I'm current. Oh, there I go.
What am I holding?
Oh, it's dark.
Did you mark off an item in the load? Or did you pick something up?
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
marked them off
God.
so I wouldn't forget.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have to mark off the items right now. So it's like when you encounter a situation where you want to use it, you're like, all right, I pull out my X, and you go ahead and do it.
Okie dokie.
Whip out.
I pull out my gun. Anyway,
Whipping out my gun.
All right.
and a gun. Come on, Wi-Fi. Come on, Wi-Fi.
Wait, did we all load in except for you?
I think that's the case. I am struggling.
Damn.
Where is Sydney?
We beat the DM here. Where is Sydney? Oh, there she is.
Sydney, where'd you go? She's down there.
Hunter, no
The
beating
score in the
yeah.
map.
She's waddling.
And she
Alrighty,
waddled
y'all.
away.
And I
Waddle,
waddled away. Waddle, yeah.
Waddle.
To the
So-
very next day.
Since we're at a risky starting point, here's how I'm gonna set this. You guys start to creep out from this old maintenance tunnel in Coleridge. One by one, you begin to file in. You've got your gear. You're coming up, pulling each other out, and as soon as you emerge and make your way to the rail cars, you can see it looks like the Lost are on patrol in the area. Chimera, you remember Huda mentioning that they're more focused on guarding right now, and it looks like they, instead of taking a score, taking a risk, they have armored up, so they're focusing on the defense. They're actively patrolling the area, and as part of this risky, Chimera's the only one that went medium. Let's say I'm going to be slightly mean. Sorry. Um,
Uh-huh.
as everybody's coming out of this maintenance tunnel, I'm going to pick a random character. I'm just going to roll fortune, and we'll see who does this accidentally.
6.
Okay.
Let's go.
Nobody.
Profit. As you're kind of making your way there, you unfortunately take a little bit of a misstep on the step up, getting one of Silver's paws, and the dog whines on, kind of like yelps as you're exiting. It looks like attention has been brought to you, and this one ex-soldier sporting an old rifle turns his head, starts to make his way to your position. So, what are you guys doing? The fun, to let you know how this all is, it is very reactionary. I tell you things that happen, you tell me what you do, and I tell you the results. So it's very much motivated by what you guys are doing in this moment.
Hmm.
Can we hide? Are any of these the doors to these like cars open? Or are they all
I'd
closed?
say easily you could open one, and it's up to you if only one of you want to hide, or if we want to get into the group action and see how that works. That could be an
Yeah, I'll
option.
hide.
Because I'd say
Let's
Hide?
group hide.
a group hide.
All right. So, with a group action to run you through how this works, the idea of it is that it allows a lot more dice and collaboration, so a higher chance of success. At the cost of that, any failure equals stress that the leader of a group action takes. So, with this start, who wants to lead this group action?
I have prowl. That
This-
can help us hide.
It doesn't. You don't necessarily have to have the skill to lead. It's just who decides
Oh.
that they want to take.
I don't know. Prophet stepped on the
boon or
dog.
Prince. Huh?
I don't know. Prophet stepped on the dog.
Not my
Prophet did
fault.
stuff
I
on the-
think I think I was gonna say, since I think who would be the first one to kind of react to like try to hide?
You did mention it.
Not Io.
I did mention it, you're right. I feel like it might be in character for Pharaoh to kind of lead everyone into a position to
lead.
hide. So
Very cool.
I'll take the fall. I'll take anyone's fall.
So we're
He-
looking at a prowl.
Me with my one prowl.
So we're at risky standard. Go ahead. You can push yourself. No one else can push their self in a group action.
I don't think I'm gonna push myself. You said one fail is one stress.
Yeah. So if Io rolls a 1 on this, Faro takes 1 stress. But if like Faro and Io roll 1s, then you take 2 stress.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
how you get stress for each fail player roll.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. I'm
I
doing
have
this willingly.
No, I have 0.
Damn. You can
Alright.
do it. I believe in you. You're so powerful. God, not the ASMR. Okay, so
Damn.
we're looking at 4 stress. Woof.
Excellent.
That's rough. But it's a
End
mixed
result
success.
is a mixed success. So you guys open up the train car and start to like quickly barrel in one after the other. Iris kind of taking point and just like, I imagine that there's a facepalm running through as Iris realizes that not everyone's equipped for this. And our mixed success. Because that's the thing, you are hiding. You have been able to make it into here. So, because a mixed success is still success, you managed to achieve what you want to do. I think. Let's start a clock. We're gonna have this be our first. So I'm gonna start a 4-part clock. And by the way, if you want to roll to resist, you can. Whenever I put a consequence out there, except for the engagement roll, I'll put that out there, except for the engagement roll, you can be like, I don't want this to happen. I want to roll to resist. We talk about which stat you use, and then it's basically 6 minus the highest number that you roll stress-wise. So for this, we're just going to start a gang discovered clock. We're going to put it at 1 out of 4 segments. Progressive issues will tick that clock.
Okay.
All right, so right now you guys are in one of the train cars. It's not the main one with the equipment. How are you guys proceeding?
Do we know how many guards are standing by?
You definitely saw the one on the way in. I'd say to get a better gauge, you'd probably have to put work in to plan it out.
So we're still trying to just not get caught.
Yeah, right now you haven't been fully given up yet. There's still some deniability.
Can
And
can
the
we do
end goal is find the stuff and break it.
just to try and like take some like stress off the situation? Could we use some finesse to try and like maybe throw a rock and cause a sound in a far off region?
Yeah, definitely. Also, I just noticed that Chimera has stress, and you should not. So I'm going to eliminate that for you.
Chimera,
That was
congrats. You're
weird.
not stressed.
So,
Oh,
would you
so
like
okay, now
to?
I see.
Would you
It's
like
only
to
fair that that's
finesse alone, Io?
Yeah, if no one else wants to assist or do it
That
with me, I can do it alone.
That's true. Good point. Good call. Another mechanic that you guys can do whenever you perform a roll, anybody can take the 1 stress, hit that assist teammate button to give the person rolling 1 additional die.
The stress is making me stressed.
That's this game. That's this
Then
game.
I will assist teammate.
All
Thank
right,
you.
go ahead, click that button, and then you roll.
Double
My
fours.
assist
Four.
did not matter.
Double 4s. We got a lot of 4s. You go ahead, toss the rock, and it kind of scatters away. The guard kind of turns his head. I think the complication here is that in that toss, something ends up slipping out from your sleeve, and just falls into like in between the tracks and just all the way down into the runoff. You lose 1 load.
Dang it.
Can
Do we
I
have any indication as a group of where the stuff we're looking for might be hidden?
Not yet. You'd have to find it first.
can I survey for that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So over to Chimera on a survey. There you go. And if you want to push yourself, you're welcome to. It just costs 2 stress to do so.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you should be able to hit the little push yourself button. Yep, perfect. And also, if you don't want to take the stress penalty, but you do like extra dice, you can tell me you want to do a devil's bargain. What happens with a devil's bargain is I tell you the consequence of taking it, and that consequence happens automatically. It will just happen. And if additional consequences happen, that's how the game be. All right, go ahead, make that survey roll. 5. Perfect. You peek your head out and look around, and you see one of the train cars, the doors slightly ajar. In there, you see acid blowtorch tank. You see a lot of the typical things that you're like, oh, okay, this is their gear car. This is where they've got the stuff stationed. God,
Words.
words. Train stationed. Yes. While you're got your neck kind of exposed, you're peeking out, you see it. That guard who followed the rock just kind of takes a little glance back. You pull back quickly, but they see just a minute glance. I'm gonna add another tick to our game discovered clock.
Okay. Oh, I see the thing that popped up
Okay.
on the screen. That was cool.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you see anything?
Yeah, a lot of acid and part of the gear.
Where is it?
She like discreetly points.
Okay. If I can get over there, I
Mhm.
could probably tinker with it. But I know how to mess with gear. I could make it stop. Like any gear that is mechanical, I can make it stop working.
What I've seen a lot of mechanical things in my survey.
Yeah, I know I mentioned a blowtorch tank in there.
Yeah.
There are some like other wrecking tools like a sledgehammer, a crowbar. There's
She's,
a little more mundane things, but then there's also like, oh, that could blow up.
yeah, she's gonna relay that all to the group.
All right.
So, Prophet, do you want to try and creep in and get close, or do you have some kind of like projectile that you might just want to wreak some havoc with?
See, I want to get close. I know I can't get close without being seen as an issue. And I don't think the line thrower won't really help me here.
I think
'Cause
you
I'm
could
not.
make it work. I could see an argument.
We can cause a distraction.
Like if you hit the blowtorch a certain way, you think that's volatile enough to probably like really cause damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll aim the line thrower and try and pierce one of the flamethrower gas. Trying to make it.
Sick nasty. Action do you want to roll for this?
Let's see. See, I would like to say tinker, but I don't think tinker would exactly work.
Fiddle with devices and mechanisms. It would be fiddling. This does require some precision. I could see the argument. I could accept tinker.
It's long range tinkering.
You're doing some long range tinkering. You have to aim it just so.
I'm taking out my
awesome, and we have an IO on the assist.
Yay, IO.
IO's given some
Only-
pointers.
Only one person can assist at a time.
Only
I
one person
literally
can
can't.
assist at a time.
All right, let's get this.
Let's get this bread.
Yes!
There
Level
we
6!
go.
Let's
What a-
go!
That's
What
what
an
we like to
assist.
see, ladies and
Worth
gents.
it.
Fuck yeah.
You go ahead. You aim it a certain way. You go ahead. You fire off the line thrower just through the crack in the door. The ropes shoots out. This harpoon scratches up against the tank, and you notice the gas begins to leak. You go ahead and crank it back, bring the harpoon part of the line thrower back up against the tank, strike a spark, and suddenly there's a boom in this cart. As this echo comes out, suddenly all attention immediately shifts right over to here, and there begins to be a lot of flushing and running. Yeah, that was that's their gear. And
I just
it's
turned back
on
to
fire now.
I turned back to the group, just thumbs up.
Chimera does the same thing. Thumbs up.
All right, guys. By all means, you have achieved the mission. It's up to you if you want to go further. If there's anything else you want to do on this, or if you just want to book it. Whatever you want
Run
to do.
away.
I think we should
Run away.
run away.
Well, let me take all their goods.
Do we need to try to sneak away through the chaos? Or
I'd probably recommend it.
okay. Do we
Man,
do
this score's
another group
going-
prowl?
If you want
Yeah.
to lead a group prowl, I can do it this time because I haven't taken any stress.
Okay.
Thank you, you're a lifesaver.
All right, I'm setting you up, Iris.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Prowl
Godspeed.
time.
I'm gonna be useless.
Do I click the button?
Yeah, you're the clicker. You got the power.
Double
Oh,
one!
you only took 2 stress.
2 stress, not bad. 5s on this. Okay, I'm trying to think. Because Gang Discovered is a stupid clock for an escape roll like this. So I think I'd like a different consequence. I'm thinking what would be tasty.
I step on the dog's foot again.
The poor dog.
Animal abuse.
Move!
Where am I? Oh, there I am. I forgot I was still behind the
Okay.
car.
Success complication. Iris, while you're leading this and you're trying to like usher them back into the tunnels, getting them a move on, because of what happened the last time, you are purposely taking point, and allowing them to go first. You notice there's a glance back from one of the members of the Lost, who notices you for just a moment, but then is shouted at by another member to respond and doesn't go to pursue you, goes back, but you definitely locked eyes with them.
What did
Quick
this person
smoke
look like?
bomb.
I'm gonna say that this is our friend Huda. So this is a Aruvian woman, short hair, red bandana around the arm. She noticed, she glanced, locked eyes with you for just a moment, and then it's like, Huda, get over here. And she has to immediately respond to that instead. So she doesn't chase you down, but you got noticed.
I know it technically doesn't apply in this situation because it applies to like sway, but I do have mesmerism. So like with that, can I be inspired to resist this? And maybe she just forgets my face?
You can always resist a consequence whenever you like. So would you like to make a resist roll?
Yes. How do I do that again?
Very cool. So I'm setting you up for this. This is a discover. You did mention mesmerism. I like that idea. So I'm gonna flavor that. What's gonna make this resolve? So basically, you resist. However many skills you have in resolve is how many dice you roll in this case. So because she has sway and what's her other skill in that? The red.
Consort.
Section?
So I would have 3
Consort.
total pips in that section.
Yeah, so it just takes based on how many skills you have unlocked. It doesn't
no.
include like how many points you have overall. So you can see right there, and you just go ahead, click that roll to see and avoid that consequence.
Oop.
Okay, so you resist, you take free stress. That's a trade-off whenever it comes to a resist roll. Stress is going to come with it, but in this case, she did not notice you as intently as she would have.
Okay.
The gang is able to very quickly scooch in as fast as possible, one by one, get in there. You shut the door behind, and through the maintenance tunnel, you guys begin to head right on back. That's some clean work, guys.
We did it. Holy shit.
You did it, and you did it well. There was
Good
no major
job, team.
confrontation or anything. Like,
I'm a sniper.
wow.
Good fucking shit, guys.
Good shit. Damn. I'm gonna I'm gonna move y'all back right over to the. Was that 30 minutes? Did we get a whole score done in 30 minutes?
We did.
What about?
Yeah.
Actually,
Holy...
no, actually it was like 20,
It was
25.
less.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh
because we were
my
yelling at each other for
God.
a
Because
while.
when I looked at
Guys,
the
you
clock when
are-
we started, it was like 12:11. Now it's 12:30.
Uh-huh.
I really
You
rolled
guys
up like
are
a line thrower and was like,
efficient.
Good shit. I'm proud
Good
of us.
shit. Me
We
too.
did our first.
You did
we did our
awesome.
first score successfully.
Woohoo.
So, because we actually have time, a little more time than I anticipated, we can get into our payout.
Oh fuck yeah!
So, hell yeah. Jumping back to the scoundrel lair, my computer's loading slow.
under the table I go.
So, Axel is very happy with your
Hi,
work.
Kevin. Just gonna hide.
Hi, Kevin.
I'm your
This is our
biggest
base. We need to create a
fan.
dog.
Yep. Um,
We were able to do that, and we didn't even have to get into a fight.
yeah. Well done.
I didn't have to offer to sleep with a guard.
You didn't have to offer to sleep with a guard. That's the nice
Chimera
thing.
didn't have to sick the hound on anybody.
She like whines at that, like she's hungry. Like I know. Next time.
Alrighty. So, because we are approaching our time, give or take. Finally, I loaded. I'm here, and I can get
Yay.
rid of that clock.
The game master's here.
The game master's here.
You're not.
Because we are about to reach our time, we're not going to do the full leaving of the full afterwork post score. We're just going to get it started. So I'm going to pull up the crew sheet here, and if 100 the same, so our lovely audience can see.
Where is the crew sheet? Here it is. Wait.
So when you pull up the little crew, and then you'll see like that little open crew sheet icon.
All right, I got it
And
up.
you're able to see the fun little layout. So
We still gotta pick
automatically,
a name for our crew still.
True. That's fine, honestly. You guys can mull it over and come back to me. Or if you just want to wait for something funny to happen in game, that happens too sometimes. So to get into payoff, automatically, whenever you do a score, you get 2 rep. And you also get 1 rep for however many tiers above the hit you just did. So because you're tier 0, you went after a tier 1, free rep is the end payout for that. Rep is what you use to kind of move up in the world. You can also spend it as a resource in downtime, which we'll get to next session.
Word.
Teehee. Then we jump over to coin. So, as per what Axel promised, the group gains 4 coin. It's up to you guys if you want to just move it out however you want, or keep some in the vault. And for sake of things, we can also make that a next time deal. So, heat always comes in from scores. Although you guys were very contained, you handled things well. The way that what it was done is loud. So I don't think it was crazy.
Actual heat.
True. There was an
some
explosion.
real heat here. You guys managed to keep things contained. You didn't really get fully discovered, but a train car got blew up. You know, people are going to notice that. So I think our end result is going to be 2 heat from this score. Basically, how heat works: the more the crew performs, the more noticeable they are, the more reputation they gain, and the more higher the wanted level, which means the worse the consequences get. Our last little bit that we're going to handle this evening, so we'll have something fun to look forward the next time, is our entanglements. So the idea is basically there is no crime done in a vacuum in Duskfall. You will always have something to deal with. And that comes through these entanglements, which I roll after a session is done that we address the next session. So, because the gang has no wanted level, I roll 2 dice and I take the lower. So, ultimately, you'll have less issues. It's based on, however, the wanted level and the heat, we're rolling on the lowest table with the least amount of dice.
Double 6.
Okay. They don't fucking say that.
So, we have free, which would be gang trouble or usual suspects. Because we do not have a gang in this case, it's going to be usual suspects, and we're going to address that one top of next stream.
Let's go.
And congratulations, guys, you did crime.
Impossible.
We did crime.
Now it's time to do the
You did-
time.
Yeah, right. Well, not right now. You guys did crime so well, you don't have to do time.
Time
But
out.
yes, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the stream. I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching us at all. We love the attention, the support. I'm really excited for this game. I really love the system, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Nate.